Welcome back to Animal Crossing New Horizons. I'm dear darling, as we see what's going on our lovely island of Fawnhollow today, where I feel really tired. I'm not quite tired today, to be honest. More so than usual. I'm not really sure. Maybe I don't think I slept as well, maybe as I could have. Not really like much of a conscious choice or anything like that, but yeah. And it's only really just like hit me now. I just like had a walk about and then like sat down again. I was just like, wow, I'm like a little bit tired. But that's okay. I'm sure this too shall pass, and if anything, I will just sleep a little bit earlier today. Anyway, hello everyone. Right now in Fawnhollow at 6:08 PM on Wednesday, March 13th, 2024. Yeah, I've got a D&D session later today. This is it'll be an interesting one, I think for sure, because I'm not exactly sure how it'll go. I think this is probably the first one where I'm like, it feels very much more up in the air what could happen, because it's a little bit more open-ended, but not like to an extreme degree, where it's like I don't know what's going on in the slightest, but there might be a significantly more improv. I don't know. We'll certainly just have to see exactly how it turns out. Sorry, I've got like projects that on my phone, which I'm just setting up over there. Yeah, should be good. Should be not good. I don't know. That's sort of for it to decide, I suppose, in the end. But yes, following on from the conversation of yesterday, you might be like, did you end up playing for Churi? I did end up playing for Churi instead. I thought about it more after I finished recording the Animal Crossing episode, and I was like, yeah, you know what? Like, I don't know what about it, but I read Alicino's like leaked kit, and I'm just like, I don't know why it doesn't like entice me for some reason. I think it's probably because she's a Pyro main DPS or something, and I'm just like, I already have like 3 Pyro main DPSs, and I only kind of use one of them. They're all built and everything, so she's very much the character I was like, maybe I'll get her on a rerun, but I'm not like in a rush to get her or anything. But Churi is like, as I said before, Churi like conceptually as a character was one I wanted for so long, like near the beginning of the game, a fashion designer, and she's finally here, so I was like, I might as well, you know. And I do play Mono Geo here and there, and Geo-esque characters. It's sort of like, if you have a supporting characters around them, you're more like incentivized to pull them, because you're like, oh, now I should have a use case for them. You know, another one of my friends, she really likes Jory, but again, she has like none of the Geo characters which came out apart from like Zhongli or something. So there's not really much point of her, like from a meta standpoint, I suppose, putting. But of course, you can pull whoever you like, to be perfectly honest. But so many good options. Oh, I don't know, I said so many options. She's not really hurting for choices. But yeah, I don't know, that's Genshin Impact. What should we talk about today? That's a good question. What's been going on in the r/games world community? I don't really know. Let's find out. RimWorld? V Rising? Is V Rising the game I think it is? Is it like the incredibly difficult 2D thing, which is like reminds me of not I Want to Be the Guy, but oh no, this is like a completely different game. What the heck is V Rising? Oh, is this a Vampire Survivor? No, what is V Rising? V Rising. I've heard the game title. I just don't really know what it is. Oh, I think it's just a game title I've seen, and then just like I've never actually paid attention to what the gameplay is. Fair enough, that's coming out apparently. Yeah, what else am I saying? Sorry, just like closing out random tabs I've got open. Keep things neat, keep things clean. You know what I could talk about recently? What was I saying? You know what I can talk about recently? It's not a sentence. I was going to talk about DDR, you know, Dance Dance Revolution. It's a fun game if you've not played it. It's basically a rhythm game, except where you had to like use your feet to play it, to dance around and play. Oh, I need to go get some more bells. I didn't realise I was running out. It's something I had the fortunate chance to play recently, I suppose, by going to like a barcade, I suppose is what it's called, which is now like the second barcade I've been to. Okay, you know, I don't mind them. I feel like you might disproportionately think I love them more than I do. I'm not saying I hate them or anything. No, I think they're a fun time. But like, I don't know. I guess I don't have a nostalgia for a lot of the arcade games out there. Like, I've played some of these arcade games, but I played them on like emulations or things like that, or through other means or what have you. So I've not got the sort of joy where it's like, oh, it's something completely new, but I've also not got that sort of nostalgia baked within. It's sort of just like that's fine sort of thing. You know, mostly it's kind of fun if you're having a fun time with friends, to be perfectly honest, isn't like nothing's ever going to go against that, is it? Yes, what was I going to say about this? I don't remember. Anyway, yeah, it's a arcade. I played a few different games. Like, I didn't play a huge amount or anything like that. But one of them I did play was definitely DDR, which was, of course, Dance Dance Revolution. It's been a very long time, actually, since I played it in person. Like, I sometimes see it, like, you see it in, like, beachside arcades or something, that sort of thing. Oh yeah, did I actually explain what DDR is? It's a rhythm game, but you have like a dance mat. You have like a up, down, well, forward, left, right, and back arrows, and then you have like a screen where the arrows come up on the screen, and you had to sort of like tap them as they hit the top or whatever. I would say it's quite a surprisingly tiring game, and it's been ages since I played it. Like last time I played it, I must have been like a child or a teenager or something, maybe on like a holiday in the UK down to a beach or somewhere. But I played it. Yeah, but well, back then I didn't really like play rhythm games or anything, so I could only do like a really basic version of it. I feel like I've spoken about DDR before, because I was just about to say we did have like our own DDR mats at home. Not like for one, it was like a rip-off DDR. It was not like an actual thing. Let's see, dance DDR, dance. Apparently I've not spoken about it. DDR meaning Dance Dance Revolution, if you don't know. Yeah, we had like a dance mat thing. It was not officially licensed DDR product or something. It was like someone, like a competitor who tried to do something super simple. I remember it was one of those really old school things where it plugs into like the old TV connectors, like what, the AV connections? Is that what they're called? I genuinely can't remember. Let's see. TV AV connection. No, not even AV. It was the one before AV. Hold on. Old TV connectors. It was like a weird shape. Yeah, a SCART. That's what it's called. SCART. It was a SCART connector or whatever. Which it like came from that, and you'd like plug it in behind, and you would switch to. I think you switched to AV channel 2 or something. Maybe that's why. I can't remember. It was like the old CRT TVs we had. Except for when I was younger, I didn't really understand how to set it up properly. You like unfold a map, and then I can't even remember what songs you played on it, but you would like select a song and you would dance to it, and I could only basically do the most easy difficulty because I was not very good at it or anything like that. I don't know if that's the last time I played like DDR or an equivalent, but it's the last time I remember playing. But since then, obviously, I've got now like many years of playing rhythm games under my belt, so like I got the opportunity to play again. I was like, all right, let's give it a shot. And surprisingly, or unsurprisingly, I could obviously read the map like pretty easy. I could immediately see what was going on. I could see up, down, left, right, whatever like that. And if I could just tap the screen, I suppose, to get the arrows to sync up or whatever, to input the arrows, then it would have been fine. But of course, you had to translate to what I see on screen to dancing with the arrows. But the hardest part is actually, because I remember I watched like a speed run, sort of challenge run, I suppose, of DDR. I can't remember. It was on Games Done Quick. It's really good. You should go watch it if you want. It was one of the most interesting things I think I've ever seen. I can't remember what I was going to say about this. But they talk about like a concept of like is it like good footing or something? Well, basically it's like it's actually like physically danceable, because you can. The problem with DDR is you have to kind of balance on one foot as you input on the other foot, and it's surprisingly difficult to actually do that. In my opinion, like I could see what the notes were saying, but I just couldn't like translate it to how I should like be stepping on the ground for it to actually properly work out. But many times I was like, I know that's next, but when I play music games, I do it with my fingers. I can just hold my finger there in preparation and then tap when I need to. But with DDR, you can't really do that. You can't like hover. Well, you can hover on one foot, I suppose, but then you're balancing on one foot. And sometimes if your weight's not properly distributed as you're sort of like dancing around the place, it gets quite difficult to do properly. So I ended up doing some things where I was just doing some like weird turns in the middle, just trying to like get the right rhythms down. I don't really know how you do it. And I also found that I was way overestimating how, or maybe I'm just too tall, I suppose, for that DDR machine in particular, where I kept like overshooting where the actual arrows were. I kept like stepping past them or something. And I was like, this is very hard and very, very confusing. But I managed to get like a solid B and I think an A in one of the songs. And it was like a really old cabinet. It might have been like one of the original DDR cabinets. DDR cabinet. Like the songs, I was like, I don't recognize any of these songs, apart from I did recognize one. It was "I Will Survive." Da, 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 da. It might have been the original one. Let's see. Original DDR cabinet, because it was an arcade which had all these like retro games and that sort of thing. So I wouldn't be surprised. All I remember is like the characters that were dancing weren't even characters. They were like coiled springs with like the Venus and Mars symbol, I suppose, as heads. Anyway, I did pretty well. I think it was fun. I will say it was extremely tiring, and I guess I'm more out of shape than I thought. Mainly because I probably wasn't doing it like in a particularly athletic or graceful manner. There was like some weird sort of like pauses. I was like probably like squatting the entire time or something like that, and it's like that was a huge burn on my thighs. To be perfectly honest, it was a lot of fun though. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if it's like DDR would be a thing where I'd be like, oh, I'm gonna make that my go-to arcade game. If I ever start bringing in these Japanese arcade games, start putting them in, you know, bringing them to UK. I will play them. I will play Genethium all the time. I will play. I can't remember any of the other ones. Sound Vortex. I don't remember what that one's called. The one with like with 7 buttons of each different colours. What's that one called? Where it's like a 4x4 grid. That one. I can't remember any others. There's that one which is like a big old circle. I talk about Japanese arcades all the time. They're so much fun. But there's actually 2 DDR machines at the place I went to. There was like the old school one, and there was like DDR Revelation 2, which, you know, if I saw that one, I probably would have done that one, because maybe I'd actually recognise some of the songs. Because there's another thing at the arcade I did. They had like these like booths where you could play Guitar Hero in like a soundproof booth, which I did for a bit with a friend. The thing is, like, I recognise, like, the strangest thing is I have Guitar Hero, like the original one, I think on the Wii or whatever. We've got the guitars and everything, like our family, I suppose. Where are they? I don't know, somewhere. But they do exist, because I used to play, well, it was actually my sister used to play a lot more Guitar Hero, but there was Band Hero, which I played because I actually knew pop songs. But, you know, right, when we were doing it in the arcade, you know, I was playing and I was just like, I don't know like any of these songs. I can't remember, like, there was one song which I definitely knew, which was Coldplay Yellow, but I didn't choose it because I was like, come on, it's rock band. So there's Paint It Black, which I vaguely know, and I can't remember what the other one was. School's Out for Summer or something? I don't know. Anyway, the thing I noticed that while playing Guitar Hero, I don't know if it's because the guitar strap was too short, so I was like in a really awkward position strumming. It actually like really tired out my strumming hand, my right hand, which maybe, I don't know. That seems like it would be a development of like carpal tunnel or something. So I was just like, okay, I've got to find a way to actually make this comfortable or something. So instead of strumming down, I just like strummed upwards every time, like using my like kind of like wrist, I suppose. I like use my elbow to actually strum. Like I was pivoting at the elbow rather than like pivoting at the wrist, which felt a lot better, I will certainly say. I was considering it doing like lefty-handed, I suppose, like flip the guitar, but I was like, that doesn't make sense because like I still had to use my right hand to, I suppose, play the frets. But I remember when I used to play Guitar Hero, I was like, I could only basically do hard, because anytime it switched to using the orange frets, I'd be like, I have no idea what I'm doing. But I played like on, I think, expert mode or whatever, and I actually just like managed to pass completely fine. The songs, like again, I think it was very helpful that like now the only barrier was literally my mechanical execution of it. Like I could read the beat map, the charts, like very easily. It was like, I mean it felt slow if anything. The biggest issue, I suppose, was the delay, I think, between the Guitar Hero and the inputs and the screen updating. So it's interesting to see my rhythm game experience now actually like helping me, I suppose, in them. Well, I'm not saying in a practical way, because it's not particularly practical. What's it helping me? And it's helping me with a different rhythm game, which is like, yeah, I guess that kind of makes sense. But the only thing I had to really worry about was like the mechanical difficulty of actually like strumming the guitar like properly and moving with my hand back and forth on the frets. That was pretty fun. What else did I play in the arcade? It was like Time Crisis. Played that for a bit. I can't even remember. It was a racing game. I don't remember what racing game it was, to be perfectly honest. It was not a Forza. I don't think it was a Forza. I think I played a few others, but I don't really remember. They didn't really like stick in my memory, to be perfectly honest. But I don't know. It's kind of cool, you know. I certainly understand the appeal of it. That sort of like a retro, nostalgic appeal. I do think those arcade games are kind of before my time. Most of them are just sort of like, oh, you know, these were definitely made before I was born. Like I'm aware of basically all of them, almost. But it was the sort of thing where I was like, yeah, these were not quite the arcade games that I grew up with. The arcade games I grew up with were like Spider Stomp and... But my favourite one was this, like... Was it a zombie one or was it a dinosaur one? Where it's like you play as a married couple or something in a Jeep and you have like these big like gun blasters or whatever. And I remember you get like bonus points for if you shoot together with whoever your partner was, which I didn't realise at the time, but it was basically our local bowling alley. We had that game. It was really cool. Let's see. Jeep arcade game. Jeep shooter? Oh, is it Let's Go Jungle. That looks right. Hello, Rowan. Let's Go Jungle. That seems right. I wonder how much it costs to actually buy these. I'm not going to. Add to wish list. Come down to the showroom. For whatever this is. How much? I just wonder how much it costs. I mean, wow, that pinball machine costs £10,000. Let's Go Jungle Arcade. Oh, we need to take a picture anyway. Can't believe I forgot about that. Take my picture. Take my picture. Yeah, that's probably like quite a retro one. I've just got a whole Wikipedia article about it. Go Jungle. Lost on the Island of Spice. 2006. Okay, water plants. We have time. Ben and Nora. 2006. Yeah, that was about right for what I grew up with. 10 years old or something when they came out. So that's like my equivalent of Pac-Man, I suppose, if you're 35-ish or something. I don't know how old Pac-Man is. Pac-Man arcade release date. 1980. So 1970. Oh, even older, like 50 something. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about that. I don't know. It's like, I feel like because I tend to be known for, I suppose, playing games or liking games or that sort of thing. I guess it kind of depends which audience you're with. Like, I'm sure in the online space, I'm just like an average gamer or something. But like certainly in like a non-online space, offline space, I'm very much like far like into gaming, I suppose, as a hobby compared to other people. I think attributed by the fact that if most people be like, oh, what's that game? I'd be like, oh, you mean this game? And they'd be like, yeah, that's the one. I just sort of like know because I just like know about games. I don't really know where I was going with this, to be honest. Yeah, I think the assumption would be like I would love arcades or something like that. I don't know, fine, I suppose. Ironically, I kind of like these ticket arcades more than the actual sort of retro arcades, even though the games are significantly worse. But just, I don't know. I guess it's more of a dopamine rush or something. Anyway, I'm going to round this episode up here. I don't know, because I need to go eat dinner before the D&D session starts. We'll see how the D&D session goes. I've legitimately got no idea. It's like so much more open-ended. I've not even done that much prep for it because I was just like, I don't really know what I can prep for. I can only like prep like general locations and characters, but I can only see what happens after seeing what they decide to do. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, if you have been watching, thank you very much. This has been Animal Crossing New Horizons, and I've been Dear Darling. Likes, comments, subscription, shares, greatly appreciated. Socials, Discord down below. Hope to see each other again, but for now, it's our farewell. So until next time, bye-bye for now.